One of the most eagerly anticipated bikes of the 2019 show season was the new Ducati Streetfighter V4. It was a long time in the coming too, being ages from the first teasing social media posts till we actually saw the bike in the flesh. With the current global situation, the chances are there are not many folks that have actually managed to ride one yet. Even we nearly missed the chance. Luckily, Ducati UK had one bike on the press fleet that they managed to get out to us just before the doors pretty much closed on every dealership in the UK. That gave me just enough time to answer all your burning questions regarding the new naked Ducati Streetfighter V4. How hot does she run? I had the 2019 V4 S Panigale and had to get rid of it before it cooked me alive. Okay, yeah, the Panigale V4 S, it was a hot bike to ride. One of the things that I noticed after a day of blasting around the Midlands countryside on this one, and it was quite a mild day, it was warm, I had absolutely no issues with heat whatsoever. It's noticeably cooler than the V4S Panigale. I think the lack of fairings means the airflow isn't concentrated around your genitals, and it's a much cooler place to sit and a lot more comfortable on a hot ride. It's difficult to tell unless you're riding them back to back, in all honesty. To look at the specs, they are very close on all but just a couple of fronts. Let me explain what I mean. The wet weight is almost identical. Full electronics including Olin suspension, both have got it. IMU traction control and ABS, yep, it's there. Ride-by-wire throttle, you betcha. It's clear that on pretty much any road they are going to be very evenly matched. The only place the two bikes differ is really in the price, and the Streetfighter V4 starts at $17,595 and goes up to $19,795 for the V4 S. The Aprilia is $17,199, and yes, I know that's comparable to the base Streetfighter V4, but that doesn't have all the electronics and toys that the V4 S and the Tuono have. If you take it easy, you'll get about 130 to 140 miles out of the Ducati. But with a soundtrack that only sounds stunning above 5,000 RPM, you aren't likely to ride it sensibly, so it's probably likely to be much lower. No, not at all. The clutch is really quiet. It's a wet clutch, although there is a dry clutch option. But it's still got that Ducati sound at tick over, but it's out on the road where the engine and exhaust really come together and they combine to make a really bloody glorious sound. Whichever way you look at it, the KTM is a bit of an agricultural thing to ride. It's all clattering and banging and popping and farting. The Streetfighter is much more refined in that the suspension, the brakes and the engine just feel a lot more sophisticated. But some people really love the Super Duke because of the ASBO dynamics. So the Streetfighter V4 might be a bit too smooth for those. Yeah, that confused me a bit, especially as the TFT dash looks like it's been plonked on the top of the headlight because somebody forgot that they needed it on the bike. I'm sure it won't take long for some aftermarket screens to appear. There is a smoked options screen from Ducati, although in keeping with the svelte look of the bike, it's pretty small and wouldn't provide you with much protection. It's a good question. With wings that only produce downforce at silly speeds, and we're talking the quoted figures of 28 kilograms of downforce at 168 miles an hour, and an engine that only comes into the fun zone above 8,000 RPM, you do get the feeling that the Streetfighter will really come into its own on the track. Whether that makes it a great road bike or not, we'll have to wait until we can spend some more time with it to decide. You get the button for the heated grips, but the actual heaters are an extra that you have to get when you buy the bike, which is a little bit frustrating for the UK market. It also doesn't get cruise control, which is a shame. It's a massive help when you're riding in the real world. And when you have a ride-by-wire throttle, adding cruise control just seems so easy to implement on a bike. It's just a shame that all ride-by-wire throttle bikes don't have it. Fear not, because I've got short legs too, and I can pretty much get both feet down on both sides of the bike. If you're any shorter than me, and I'm 5'7", you might struggle a bit. I haven't seen an official layering kit on the actual Ducati website, the configurator, although I don't think it'd be long before people figured out how to make one. Okay, so just to clear this up for you, Bob, the foot pegs are lowered. They're a different position to the Panigale V4 and V4 S and V4R. They're lowered and they're marginally slightly further forward than that bike. It's still a compact riding position, but it is more comfortable on the lower body and should be good for long days in the saddle. 30 mph in town is no trouble on this bike. It's not like the Ducatis of old that would buck and shake and throw you about when riding slowly. It doesn't complain and it doesn't grumble. The luggage though may be an issue. There's no official kit for the Ducati other than a soft tank bag. Pillion comfort either doesn't look great. The seat is very tall and very narrow, although it is decently padded and there is a bit of space between the seat and the pegs. That said, it's going to take a brave person to climb on the back of it. Yes, the clutch works fine. I can't tell you whether it needs bleeding every 5 minutes like the 1299 because I only had the bike for the day, sadly. What I can tell you is that the clutches on the V4 and the V4 S Panigale didn't seem to have any of those issues whatsoever, so I would say that because it's basically the same system, it would be fine. There is a dry clutch kit that you can buy as well as an accessory, which will no doubt make the clutch action more vicious and increase performance, and it will give you that dry clutch Ducati rattle that everybody likes at tick over, if that floats your boat. As to the clocks misting up, no they don't, because it's a bonded TFT, so there's no way the moisture can get in there, hopefully. So there you go. If you've liked your questions answered on the Streetfighter V4, please do let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. You can check out the full video review for this bike. We'll drop a link in the description below, and you can read the full review on Visordown.com.